Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Bitachon share that we have. This class is, again, an amazing class. It's really all for myself to be able to really learn through the challenges that I face constantly, and every single one of us face constantly. There's every day of our life when we're going through the motions of the day. We have the ups, we have the downs, and Shaar Habitachon was written by the Chavat Levavot. It was over 1,000 years ago, and it's still practical till today. The challenges that we go through. Yesterday we had money, and today all of a sudden the business deal is not going well, and then we start stressing out about I have no idea what's going to be in a month from now. I have no idea what's going to be in a week from now, and these challenges constantly come over to us, and not only financially, it comes in health wise. All of a sudden, I got a prognosis from a doctor that something's not going right. And here we are, our head keeps on just going, driving us crazy because we're never able to be calm. We're never able to be tranquil. And so our goal is, by learning this, is first of all, not to worry about the tomorrow. For myself, not to worry about tomorrow. I don't know what's going to be tomorrow. I know there's a big bill coming up, and I don't know how I'm going to pay for it. That's tomorrow. Look at what we have today. We're thankful for every single thing we have today, which is phenomenal. And then from there, we could go on to being able to be calm. That's really what Bitachon's about, is that when we're going to go through the daily motions of living life, the way that we could be able to be successful is really by being able to be tranquil and knowing that Hashem is going to take care of us. And today we're going to be finishing off the introduction to Shaar Habitachon, and it's so awesome because this was so practical for us of just how if we could just follow these guidelines of what it lays out for us and remind ourselves. And it's not I learned it this morning and then for the rest of the day I'm good. I don't know about anyone else here, but I go through those struggles of, okay, you know what, right now I'm good. I finished an amazing class. It was 10 minutes, 5 minutes, heard something inspiring. And then all of a sudden, 2 minutes later, an investor calls and says, what are you doing? I don't like what you're doing. Or he closes a deal, says no, you hear something negative happens. And all of a sudden, that whole high that you have comes crashing down. And this is the challenge that I go through every day and everyone else goes through. So it's not, okay, I did it today and I'm going to be, later on today, I'm going to have that energy. It's really a constant minute by minute struggle and second by second struggle that we really have. And so that's why we're learning this. And again, this class is for Shlema for Malka Bas Chana. She should just be well. And usually the way that we do it is we have 10 minutes of Shaar Habitachon and 5 minutes of a letter from the Lubavitcher Rebbe. Today we're actually just going to go mostly through the Shaar Habitachon just to finish off the introduction. And we just read it. It's just practical. Take it as practical as you could. And we just read it in the English. So we're talking about no distress, how having bitachon really leads to having no distress. And so we say that among the material benefits is that a person who has bitachon will have less anguish in business. If, for example, he cannot sell his merchandise, or if he's not able to collect the debt that is owed to him, or if he becomes physically ill. So think of those things if you ever had anything. And I feel personally when this was written and going through it, this is so many practical examples for myself. And so just take each one. What happens if he couldn't sell his merchandise? Also, he has someone owed him money, he didn't pay for it. Also, become physically ill. And it says naturally a person would become upset or even angry if any of these things happen. Nevertheless, a person that has bitachon will not let these things upset him. And why is that so? Because he knows that Hashem, may be blessed, repairs his matters better than he can, and chooses what is good for him better than what we could choose for ourselves, what he would choose for himself. As it says in Tehillim, only to Hashem should you hope, my soul, for my hope is from him. This is just something so hard to remember every day. Hashem knows what's best for a person, and as such, a person should only place his trust in Hashem. And what does that really mean? Is everything that we do, we have to remember that we're not in the driver's seat. We think we're the one controlling the car. We're not. we're in this automatic car that's going every single day. We got to do the motions. We got to get into the car. We can't say I'm going to make money without doing any work. That's a very high level of bitachon that we're not on. But the reality is, we're not driving that car. Hashem is the one that's doing it. And we have to just remind ourselves that Hashem is going to take care of us. And this is where we get to the next way, where it says that a person is always happy. And what is this talking about? In addition to refusing to get upset when things do not go as planned, the person who has bitachon can actually rejoice with whatever comes his way, which could be really, really challenging if you could internalize that line for a minute. If something doesn't go as planned, and we all have these examples every single day. The other day I was taking my kid's carpool, and all of a sudden one of the kids took longer to get to than was expected. And I was waiting, but I actually got to my house like 15 minutes later than I wanted to. But right then, there was my neighbor. He was about to get rid of his trampoline. And that day I was looking for a trampoline, and he's like, he doesn't need it. His kids left the house already. And I was like, that second, there was someone there about to move it and throw it out. And I was like, wait, we'll take it, because this was something I was really wanting to get that day. And I was like, wow, literally, if I would have come a minute earlier, I wouldn't have got this. Like, just know that you're not in the driver's seat. Hashem's driving you and taking you to an awesome place, and you just have to be calm about it. And it's so awesome that way. So we're going to talk about, how are you always happy if someone that could really trust in God is among the material benefits is a person who has bitachon is happy with whatever is forced upon him, even if it's difficult and against his nature, which again, guys, I know that's hard for us. You can have that from being in the army, you expect one thing. We don't understand why certain things happen. Why does our commander tell us to do this? You're like, that doesn't make sense. But then you're like, okay, wait, I know there's a bigger picture. I don't understand. And we say he's able to be happy because of his trust in Hashem and God, that he will only do to him that which is good for him. It all matters, just as a caring mother does for her newborn child when she washes, diapers, swaddles, and unswaddles him, even if it's against the newborn's will. I can't tell you this enough. We talk about this every single class. Everyone here, everyone that's listening. A parent takes care of the baby. The baby starts screaming. And and someone that walks in from the outside, never seen anything before, is like, what's going on here? What are you doing? It's like, well, even though the kid doesn't like a bath, the kid needs to be clean. Even though the kid is upset that they're getting a new diaper, they need that. But the baby doesn't understand that. The baby's just screaming because they feel it's not what they need. But obviously, as a parent, they know much better. And this is exactly what bitachon is knowing that we're not in the driver's seat, but when we have bitachon, we're just calm, we're tranquil, because it's not going to, it's going to just be, everything's going to flow into a beautiful place because we're not driving it. It's on automatic Tesla drive. You're just going down the highway. It's taking you. You can almost go to sleep and know that, you know what? You did your job by getting in the car. So, a person with bitachon can rejoice with whatever comes his way, guys. Just remember that. Remind yourself that, you know what? I have today, something all of a sudden threw me off. I know I'm taken care of. I know it's going to work out. Guys, give that. Yes, I got that. I understand that. It's good. It's going to be good. Because I don't understand what's going on. But I know there's something really, really good that's coming. Because there's only good that's being done to me. That is what bitachon's about. Having that calm. Why is it over here? Why is this? I don't know. But I know he's taking care of me because he loves me and he cares for me. So now, in the same over here, in the same manner that a mother occasionally does things against her child's will because it is really good for the child, so too God sometimes does things that a person which seems to him as not good and therefore against his will, but ultimately in his best interests. Stop and remember that. Just remind yourself, as King David of blessed memory said, I swear that I calmed and quieted my soul like a suckling on its mother, like a suckling was my soul with me. David HaMelech, King David, had so many challenges. Again, he had a crazy life. And here he was, he wrote the Tehillim of just how he puts his trust in Hashem, that Hashem is taking care of them. Although King David had many troubles, he remained calm because he considered himself like a suckling on his mother. He believed that everything Hashem was doing to him was for his best. And this is the king of the Jewish people. So even though he was running for his life, his son rebelled against him. Craziness. He calmed himself down that way. That's our job in our life, guys. To us to be calm. He's happy because he knows Hashem will only do good for him, just like a mother does for her child. This child over here is happy because they know, you know what? My mommy is taking care of me. My mommy only doing what's good for me. My daddy's only doing what's good for me. This is what we have to remember in our life. So I actually just missed out on one part that I realized it's not in here, and which is just the introduction that I wanted to tell everyone, is the 7 chapters of the Gate of Trust is what we're up to right now. We're going to go through just the 7, quickly, we're going to go through the 7 chapters of the Gate of Trust of what we're going to be going through. And the author concludes his introduction by outlining the content of the 7 chapters of Shaar Habitachon. This was all the introduction. So here we go through it. So he says, since I have explained, I'm reading it not inside here because I realized I did not put it on this paper, on this page, so I'll just read it to you. Since I have explained that which has occurred to me pertaining to the benefits of having trust in God and its benefits both in regard to Torah matters and in regard to worldly pursuits, I will now explain 7 matters pertaining to Bitachon. So each chapter that we're going to learn in Shaar Habitachon is going to go on a different aspect of Bitachon. So the first chapter is what is trust? What is trust? What is Bitachon? The second one is right up here on the top of the page, right where we are. The cause that enable a person to trust in another. The third chapter is going to explain the prerequisites, due to which a person is obligated to have trust in Hashem, as well as to explain the obligation to engage in the means to pursue a livelihood. That's a very important thing. We got to pursue a livelihood, but how much? What to do? We're going to learn about that. 4, to explain the matters regarding which a person should trust in God, as well as when it is praiseworthy to have trust and when it is not. Wow, that's going to be intense. And 5, the difference between how a man who has trust in Hashem engages in pursuit of livelihood, and how a man who does not have trust in God engages in it. So we're saying over here, we're going to go through the different chapters over here. Do we have trust? Should we not have trust? Do we have to work? And then we have number 6, which is to explain in the way in which logic dictates that a person must criticize the opinion of those who say that the people should engage in the pursuit of worldly pleasures and delay accepting upon themselves the service of God until they obtain their materialistic desires, whom the author refers to as the owners of security pledges. That's going to be a very interesting chapter as well, because we're going to be just rocking on over here. Some people say, hey, I'm not going to do X, Y, and Z until I have another piece. And these are important pieces over here. Do you wait until I have everything I need, until I go to the next step? Or you say, no, I have this option in front of me right now. Let me take it, and I can go further. And I'm just going to bring this for a second. People ask this all the time. I have someone that I've been dating, or there's this girl that I think it would be amazing for me to marry, or the other way. And also they're like, I don't have my career filled out exactly, so I'm going to wait until my career is filled up and until I know exactly what's happening. Is that the right way to go or not? We'll learn about that. And then the last thing is to explain those matters, the 7th chapter, to explain those matters that hinder a person's capability to trust in Hashem. Also, to elaborate on all that we need to discuss regarding the matter of trust and to summarize the level of trust. So the summary over here of the introduction that we're finishing off right now, which is over 17 classes, placing trust in God brings tranquility in all areas of a person's life. It allows him to serve God with more peace and affords him an anxiety-free lifestyle. This is what it is. It's not a thing learned it this morning and it's I'm done and I could now relax. I have to remind myself constantly, learn what it takes, and it's a constant battle. It's a fine battle with the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination, because he is a powerful son of whatever we want to go, but he is tough. He is not going to let us have a nice, easy day. It's not how it works. And that's why we're learning this, because we're going to go for that fight. We're gearing ourselves up every day, every minute when the evil inclination comes to try to throw us down when we're having a challenge. We are going to show him that you're not going to take us over. We have the tools, and we're going to fight it, and we're going to fight it. And it's not a thing that's one time. I learned it. I don't need it again. When I'm 95 years old, 120, 119, we're still going to be doing this because this is something that we have to constantly remind ourselves. So everyone, I wanted to wish you all a phenomenal day, and it should just be overcoming all the challenges that we have. It'll be really good, and we will see you all next one.